Okie dokie. This is the workshop to support people pleasers in asking for help. I'm just going to pause the recording for a moment to have a quick look round and make sure there's nobody struggling to get into the Zoom before I start the content. So bear with me 1 second. There you go. 1 second went by. It was longer than that for me because I was fiddling about. But anyway, what I've got for you today is, she says, clicking in the background, a workshop that is designed to challenge your reasons for not asking for help. Yeah. So let's share my screen so that you can see this presentation that, by the way, I had to redo in very quick time because my computer decided it was no longer going to talk to PowerPoint. So this is forcing me to use Canva, which is something that I want to use. Yeah, it's something I actually want to use. So let's do it now. Okay, here we go. Asking for help. And that's me, Coach Tanya Swarbrick. I'm from Integrated Human. And the reason why I wanted to do this workshop is because just about every client that comes to me, and that is every people pleaser client that comes to me, has trouble asking other people for help. And I have figured out the top 5 limiting beliefs, and they are, right? And these are the ones that make it hard, by the way. People pleasing, perfectionism, procrastination, human needs, and judgment are, in my experience, the top 5. And this is how they influence you. As a people pleaser, you have had something happen to you at some point in your life that has made you think that the best way to get accepted and loved and to be connected with your, Stone Age tribe in this modern day is to people please. And that behavior means that it's your role to keep everybody else happy on your own, alone, right? You have to do it yourself, alone. I'm going to challenge these in a minute. The next one is perfectionism. And this is the limiting belief that no one can do a task as good as you can do it. This comes from the same kind of hidden trauma, as does procrastination, which is where a lot of people avoid a task because it's preferable to avoid that you would avoid a task because that's preferable to actually showing weakness and asking for help. Next one, your human needs. And this is the belief that your needs, whatever they are unimportant. And the last one we're going to look at today is judgment. And by that, I mean, if you did ask for help, you would be judged by others. But more importantly, that you would judge yourself. This is bit down here. Now, the problem with this lot is, right, is they're all limiting beliefs. And I'm going to go through all of this text in a minute, right? But the main point for the next 2 slides is to ask yourself, if you are allowing these limiting beliefs to stop you from asking for help, yeah, ask yourself, is this reason actually true? Is this limiting belief actually true? Is there absolutely no one who can do a task as good as you? Oh, we've just had someone join. Let me just pause for a moment while I click on something else. Why can I not click on something else? Ah, there it is. It's Angie. Hi, Angie. You haven't actually missed much. I will quickly, though, just pop back to the previous slide. Oh, yeah, it's then, yeah, we're only on the first actual material slide. We've looked at these top 5 limiting beliefs that are stopping you from asking for help. And I think what I'll do is I will download these slides as a PDF and put them in the event if you need them. But the main 5 reasons are your belief that your role is to keep everyone happy, yourself alone. This is your task. The perfectionism that no one else can do any given task as good as you can. The procrastination, avoiding the task is better than asking for help with it. And that your human needs are unimportant. The last one, I'm skimming these because I've already done the detail bit. The last one is judgment. If you did ask for help, then others would judge you. But more importantly than that, your judgment of yourself. Now, the next 2 slides are a bit wordy. I know they're a bit wordy. There's lots of words here. But I'm going to read them and then elaborate. So, limiting beliefs are negative, self-defeating beliefs that individuals hold about themselves, their abilities, and their potential. These beliefs can create a sense of perceived threat, even in situations that are not objectively dangerous or threatening. And it then triggers the fight or flight response in your nervous system. If you can, Angie, could you mute yourself, please, darling? So more information about limiting beliefs. If someone holds a limiting belief that they are incompetent in a particular area, or that they will fail if they try, they then perceive that situation as a threat to their self-esteem, which activates the fight or flight response. This can lead to symptoms like anxiety, increased heart rate, heightened alertness, high blood pressure, increased acid production in your stomach. I mean, seriously, limiting beliefs can give you ulcers, people. Yeah, which is why I work with my clients on limiting beliefs on the daily, literally. Limiting beliefs can also contribute to chronic stress. And that is, stress that goes on and on and on, rather than a peak and a trough and a peak and a trough. As individuals may constantly feel under threat or have that feeling of impending danger that's created from their negative beliefs. Yeah. This can kind of happen, and you kind of get to this point where you realize you've been living in stress response for years, and it's only when you acknowledge it that you have a good cry, you let it all go. You then tend to feel physically exhausted because your body's then letting go of all of that stuff. So a little bit more about limiting beliefs. It is essential to challenge and reframe limiting beliefs to reduce their impact on the stress response system. That being your nervous system, essentially. And I use a tool with my client, which we call BITFARP, of what it stands for: belief, thought, feeling, action, result. I use that to challenge my clients' limiting beliefs and my own by logically and kind of in a detached way, mapping that path from belief to result, and then creating other ways of doing it, essentially. But the big one, which is why I've put it in big writing, is seeking evidence that a particular belief is untrue can be the most beneficial step, as your mind is a meaning-making machine that is hardwired to look for the negative. So if you consciously make the effort to look for proof, you will then be able to automate responses in exactly the same way as your negative and limiting beliefs are automated. You'll be able to create new pathways, alter existing pathways in a process called neuroplasticity. Lovely word, look it up. If you like reading, just trying to think which of my favorite books over there. Actually, none of them are particularly good at. Just look up neuroplasticity. Yeah, have a look, see what you find. It is the process of rewiring all those little neural pathways that make a loud noise make you jump. Yeah, you hear it and you jump before you even realize you've heard a loud noise. Another example is, say you're driving along, something comes out in front of you, even if it's like a bird flying across, and before you know it, your foot's on the brake pedal because it's become an automated response. Yeah. And these limiting beliefs, the ones that we looked at back here, these top five limiting beliefs, are the ones that are being automated at the moment. So let's go past those slides again. Oh yeah, I brought it up here so I didn't have to go backwards. Right, so these limiting beliefs are the top five that I've found that hold my clients and me back. We've gone through them already. I think I'm going to put a screenshot of this because this is the important slide. But the thing with seeing a belief, seeing these beliefs, seeing what they do to you, yeah. If you were to ask yourself right now, are these true? Not are they, true for you in this moment, because right now you might be feeling quite empowered. But do you generally think that it is your role to keep everybody happy, all on your own, right? Is that true? If you are a parent, biologically speaking, there's another parent involved, yeah? If your family is a blended family, you may have a distant spouse, ex-spouse, other parent, or you may have the one that you live with that may not be biologically related to your children. There's all kinds of different permeations here. And I am aware that, everything from same sex right the way through to asexual, pansexual, all of that kind of stuff. We all have different parenting relationships with our children. But at the end of the day, there is that parent shared responsibility and the child. So ask yourself, is it true that it is solely your responsibility to keep your child happy, to keep your child entertained? Yeah. Because you know what? Some of the responsibility for keeping your child happy is the child's. By giving them options, by allowing children to choose what they want to do, yeah, you're sharing that responsibility. Yeah. And that's not like a really big, scary, have to go and ask mother-in-law if she can look after the kids for a couple of hours. Yeah. Though if that's too scary, ask your spouse to do it. Yeah. Perfectionism, for instance. I'm going to go through each of these. There's a point where, or the point that I reached in my job as a PA, where I literally looked up at my boss and said, okay, 2 questions. Firstly, when do you need this done by? And his answer to that was yesterday. So I went, okay, given all of this other stuff that I've got to do, is there anyone else who can do this job? Would you mind if I found someone else to do this job? And it was that moment, boom, it was like my head top, my, mind blown job. Yeah. Well, I suddenly realized that there were jobs that my boss was asking me to do that other people could do. I did not have to do everything. Because having worked with that guy for years, literally years, I grew out of that feeling of judging myself as being the only one who could support him in his role. There were, after all, 200 and something odd other people in his team. And, every time you're asked to do overtime, your needs are important. If you've just pulled 3 doubles in a row and you're being asked to do another double, yeah, ask yourself, which need is being served best? Your need to provide money, your need to be valued by the person who's asking you to do more work, yeah, your need to be included in the workforce, your need to be considered to have the opportunity to work overtime. Yeah, there are basic human needs, and then there are your needs. And if all of the things that make you want to do it, shut up, bud. Don't even start. He's a noodle. If your needs are always in your mind as unimportant, then there's never going to be a time when you're going to turn down overtime. You're going to wear yourself out. 2 nights in a row this week, last night and the night before, I've still been sat here at my desk working. 1 hour past the hour that I said to myself about 6 months ago, right? I'm not going to work past 8 p.m. 8 p.m. comes, alarm goes off on my phone. I stop what I'm doing, walk away, maybe save what I'm doing. Mind you, with things like this Canva presentation, when I was working on it on PowerPoint, every time I tried to save it, it wouldn't save it. And I got really frustrated. So I kept working and kept working and kept working. And in the end, this morning, I still didn't have a presentation to show you. So what did I do? Threw my toys up into the air and said, right, I'm going to do this on Canva. And then we come to judgment, right? Judgment. Fearing the judgment of others and judging yourself is actually the same thing. When you anticipate the judgment of others, you are actually judging yourself. Am I making sense? By assuming that someone else is judging you, you are already feeling judged, even if they're not judging you. So it's that dangerous self-judgment that is so harsh, that's so unhelpful when it comes to limiting beliefs. So I think we've got another slide. Oh yes, what was most helpful? And yeah, okay, let's go back here. So in the chat, if you are able to, if not, just unmute yourself and speak. What have you found most useful in this presentation so far? I guess it would be helpful if I opened the chat screen so that I could see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I've got chat open. Right. So there's no questions coming up. That's great. That's great. The thing is that once you can identify that it's a limiting belief that's holding you back, take that next step. Ask yourself, is this actually true? Is this belief actually true? Because I can take you through that Bitfart tool, yeah, one-to-one in person, or in a group setting for that matter. I do it with my clients, like I said, nearly every day, certainly with myself. But the thing is that on your own, the most important thing to do is to actually challenge that limiting belief and ask, is this true? Yeah. Because if you immediately think to yourself, shit, that's not even true. Yeah. Then you can look at it and say, okay, I'm going to ask for help. Let's go back to this again. So say you're looking at this, let's just do the top one, right? The people pleasing. If you ask yourself genuinely, is this your role? Is that true? If your answer comes back that it's not actually true, that there are other people who could be sharing this role with you, now, whether it's care of an elderly neighbor or relative, There's going to be someone who can help you. And as soon as you realize that it's not actually your sole responsibility, you'll be able to ask for help. I'm just going to hover my mouse over the mute button because my neighbour has just got home and my dog loves my neighbour. Because it's such a lovely sunny day, my door's open. Actually, I'm just going to shut the door. Count to 10. No. Okay, I'm back. Close the door. Okay, so if you've got nothing to add in terms of what was the most helpful bit for you so far, if you have any questions, examples, solutions, or ideas that you've come up with to challenge these limiting beliefs, please put them in the Facebook group underneath, or sorry, not underneath, inside this event, so that the questions surrounding this event are all contained within it. And the recording of this will be available in a few days. Now, how do I escape? Here we go. I've escaped. I've escaped. Escaped the joy of, yes, full screening. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. If there's anything that you in particular would like me to cover in one of these mini workshops, please just let me know. If you've got a question, pop it in the event on Facebook. And if you're not watching this video on Facebook, if you're watching this video somewhere else in the months to come, then, oh, how did that happen? Yes, pin me. There we go. I'll pin me. So like I said, if you've come across this video at some point in the future and it is no longer early July 2023, find a way to reach out. If you've got a question, I'm here. That's what I'm here for, is to answer your questions and give you support. But for now, I'm going to stop the recording. But Angie, if you've got any questions, if you want to stay online for a minute, please do.